Okay. So if I have I've created my function or defined my function here, def add param1, param2. So if I call this, if I invoke this, what am I going to see? And actually Visual Studio Code is telling me, right? It's going to get none. I'm going to get none back. So how would I get 7? 7?
Return param1 plus param2.
Yeah. So if I uncomment this and I print this, and somebody, who was I doing this with? Was it Jamie, right? We were trying to run this. If I run.
Yes. Yeah, there you go. It's right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I get a weird error. Oh, try that. There we go. So I get, it's printing add, so I get 7 and I get 7, which isn't real. I don't like that. It's not very helpful. Let me do this again. Comment all this stuff out. Okay, so now if I integrated terminal, say Python functions, I'm running the wrong one. There we go. So I'm getting 7 from here, right? 7 is because I'm printing, right? So we can find out if we ever want to know where a print statement's coming from. Remember, print will print multiple objects. So I can put a string in here saying inside the function and put a comma. So this will return the string inside the function and also the sum, right? So if I save this and run it again, now I see this is inside the function, and then I'm printing the return value. So if I don't return anything, if I comment this out, what am I going to see?
None.
None, right? So I see inside the function 7, and then since there's no explicit return, I get none by default right here.
And just to make sure I'm clear, nothing you put inside of the print parentheses affects what you return. Like there's no situation where that affects anything outside of just print this.
Right. Yeah.
Because so even if you put param1 equals 5 there, it's not going to change the add 3, 4 or anything.
Like here?
I'm just trying to make sure that there's nothing I'm going to throw into one of these print statements that changes things outside of that print statement. Like that's just always just going to print it. Like that doesn't change the value of the arguments, does it?
I can print true. I can print spam, whatever as long as it's a valid object, and I can even do the operation, right? This is param1 and param2. So yeah, anything you pass to the print statement, it'll just print it.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. So we got returning values. What else did I want to show you? Oh, so if I have a function divide, and I say a comma b, and I want to print the division, right? So if I do a/b, let's just go with that. So if I invoke this function and I say divide 10 and 2, what am I going to see? .5, right? So this gives, anytime you do the single division, it gives the float value of that division. So if we want the integer value, in Python, we have the double division, or I think it's called floor division. So that will return the integer of the division. So if I get, that'll give me 5. So what if I had 11 and 2? Well, what should I get back? I'm sorry, there's a little bit of math involved. So if I run this, I still get 5, right? Because this is doing the floor division. It's just going to give me the actual how many times 2 goes into 11.
5.5.
Yeah. What if I wanted the remainder?
Modulo.
Yeah. So if I say
Modulus.
A modulo B, that's going to give me the floor division and the remainder. So if I run this, I get 5 and with a remainder of 1. Okay. What if I wanted to return both of them? What if I wanted to return the whole number of the division and I wanted to return the modulo?
You can just put that statement that's in there in the return. Okay.
So if I do A divided by B, comma, A modulo B,
That's what my guess would be.
I think you're right. Let's see. How would I see if we're right?
Call it the function.
Call it, but how do I see the return value? Because if I just run it like this, it's going to run this, and it's going to return something, but I'm not going to be able to see it, right? So if I run this, I'm getting this, right, when it prints. How do I see what's returned?
Switch the 11 and 2 for an A and a B.
Yeah. What I was looking for, though.
If you print the function call, will that print the return value?
Exactly. A function is what it returns, right? So this is going to return this. So I want to see what it is. I just print it out, right?
Okay.
If I run this now, what do we get? What is that? I know we just talked about it like a few seconds ago and you haven't had a chance to work with it, but what do the parentheses mean?
Is that a tuple?
It's a tuple, right? So whenever we put a comma somewhere, it's not the parentheses that make a tuple, it's the comma, right? So this is going to return the tuple of these 2 values. So this is why tuples are important. So if I want to get the 5, I can do this. I think it doesn't break. Yeah. So tuple is just like an immutable list. I can pull the index off. I can say I want the 5. If I want the 1, I can just use it just like a regular list, and I can pull the data off of it. Okay. So if I say 10, if I put this back to 10, let me take this off. And I save it and I run this, I get 5 and 0. Okay, but what if I make a mistake? What if I say I want to divide, but I'm going to say 2, 10? What am I going to get now? And I'm not going to get anything, I think, if I don't change
Get 0 and 0.
Yeah, so if I change it to the regular division, I'm going to get the floating point number, because right, it's going to be less than 1, right? So I get 0.2 and 2. So if I want to always get a whole number, I can use what's called named arguments. So I can say B equals 2 and A equals 10. And now the order doesn't matter. I can pass them in any order as long as I specify which one is which. And that's basically, in essence, what a named argument is. You're saying, I want B to be 2 and I want A to be 10. And now I'll get the 5 and the 0. Okay, so if we want to specify like, or we don't want to worry about what the order is, we can use named arguments. The other thing I want to talk about is default arguments. So if I say, I'm going to make a function called greet, and it's going to take a name. And I'm going to say print hello name. Okay, so if I say greet, I misspelled your name, I sure did. There you go. I don't know where that came from. Arthur, there we go. So if I call this function, what are we going to see? So I have greet, I'm taking in a parameter of name.
Hello, Arthur.
Hello, Arthur, right. So if I run this, hello, Arthur. What if I call it like this? If I just say greet and I don't give it an argument, what's going to happen now?
Say hello.
So I get a type error. Greet is missing one required positional argument name. So if I always want, or if I want to make the name optional, I can say name equals Python programmer. So that way I can call this function either with a name. If I pass in the name, it's going to say hello, whatever's passed in. If I call it without, it's going to default to Python programmer. Okay, so this is the way you would make an argument optional for a function. Okay, so I say hello Arthur, and then instead of throwing an error, it says hello Python programmer.
Is it common to do that?
Yes, very common. Yeah, when we get to Flask, we're going to default arguments are going to be very common. All right, any questions so far about this? Yeah, I think that's it. Practice. Oh, okay. Yeah. So for tomorrow, before I forget, I'm going to go over some of the or demo one of the assignments. We'll take a vote on which one you guys want to see me demo. But for tomorrow, I know it's not good to say that what we're going to be learning is hard, but I kind of want to give you fair warning. Object-oriented programming is just one of those things that humans just aren't good at, I think, initially. Once you get it and you understand it, it's cool because it's basically how we think, right? We think about like concepts and like, okay, this is a dog, right? So we have a picture of a dog in our mind, and a dog is sort of meets the criteria we have for a dog. But getting your head around this initially is a little bit tricky. So for tomorrow, read through, where do we go? Up to users with bank account. So the two core assignments for tomorrow are bank account and users with bank account. So read all of these and code along with them. So overview, classes, attributes, and methods. Definitely do the practice and see how far you can get on bank accounts and users with bank accounts. I don't expect you to finish it tonight because it's tough, right? But do as much as you can. Definitely come tomorrow prepared because object-oriented program, like I say, it's a little bit hard to wrap your head around initially. Okay. Questions about that?